Hey guys, it's Everseen from K92 here. Today I'm going to be making a video about Kingdom War Guide. Basically the first part of the video is going to be me giving a basic guide to Kingdom War, kind of towards new players, new kingdoms that are going to be participating soon or that are just having their first Kingdom versus Kingdom now. And then the second part is just going to be sort of my tips and my experience and how I play Kingdom War and stuff. So to start out with Kingdom War, it's basically a glorified kill event, and it's a kill event for 24 hours, but you've also got the throne, like the throne war within it. So the way that it works is if you take the other person's throne, you get 30% of their points, and it gets added to your total at the end. This can be used to basically get a huge comeback going. If somebody is like 100,000 points ahead of you and you steal 30%, you're gonna be kind of, you know, at a tie, and it's kind of a mediator. A lot of kingdoms don't actually go for it because they feel like once they're so behind they give up, in my experience, but it's possible. And you've also got this is the Kingdom War water, revival water. It works the same as a Throne War one, except it's just for Kingdom War throne. But the difference is that the revival water you get can be used to revive any troops killed in the Kingdom War. So even on castle hits, any troops that you lose. And I'll show you. There's the Tree of Revival right above the event center. And so this is the normal Throne War, and then here's the Kingdom War. And I'll show you guys a table real quick that they actually have in support. I recommend reading most of this section if you're new to the game or if you want to learn more about the game. I spent a lot of time reading all of this information because it's explained in good detail. So if you go in Tree of Life Kingdom War, you'll see that it gives basically a guide to it. And it'll give you a table that Rock actually implemented, and it tells you how much KVK water you need to revive all your troops. So 191 is to revive all, but if you look down just a bit, about 100 is a good. 100's not insanely hard to get. It might take you a couple Kingdom versus Kingdom or just any events that Rise of the Kings puts on, but as you can see, it does 65% plus 13,000 troops, which is actually pretty good, considering how much you lost. If you lost 100k, you'd get 65,000 troops back plus 13,000, so you'd essentially get 78% of your troops back. So basically how it usually works is at the start of a Kingdom versus Kingdom, especially new kingdoms, they will tend to just jump right to the other kingdom. Basically the fighters from each kingdom, they tend to swap kingdoms, and everybody just pillages both kingdoms at the start. The first probably a couple hours are very crucial for Kingdom versus Kingdom, because later on kingdoms tend to shield a lot. Like pretty much the whole kingdom will be shielded later on in the event, depending on how well developed your kingdom is and how many players that you actually have available. But you know, as it says, Kingdom versus Kingdom comes about 3 or 4 months after Kingdom. The kingdom's kind of matured, and a bunch of kill events will have weeded off all of the weak people, and you'll just have people that are competent enough to shield. So yeah, the first couple hours are very crucial. Later on, it could be, you know, within the next 12 hours, it could be a big Throne War. And my tips for Throne War is basically, like, everybody knows that most points for holding the throne, then it's guns, and then it is the fortresses that they just added a couple months ago. So now with the updates to the Throne War, and it's based on points, there's not really a need to take the throne at the beginning of a Kingdom versus Kingdom. It's almost like you want to take the throne back from whoever tries to take it. You don't want to sit in throne. We actually had a kingdom a long time ago that we fought, and I'll go show you real quick. I think it was Kingdom 76, and the reason why they lost is because a bunch of Polish players filled their throne at the very beginning, and it hurt them a lot. We actually won by about 60,000 points. You can see the one at the bottom, and that is just because of the Throne War. So this server overlap, or this server reset time for me is probably about, I would say, 1 to 2 a.m. Polish time. So like in Poland, all these people were sleeping, and they had left all their troops in the throne, and they had left like T5, 6, 7, and we're all the way up to T8, 9 now, and so we just shredded the whole throne, and it cost them the whole KVK. So my advice is not to jump thrones so quickly. Most people think that it's just going to be a huge throne war. Most of the time it's just going to be a huge kill event. And that's just from my experience going through about 9 or 10 of these. We've only had 2 good throne wars in all of them. One of them they actually had triple rallied us and stuff, and it was just a huge fight. It was actually really fun, and I wish that the throne war wasn't based on points, so that we could have more of that interaction in a Kingdom versus Kingdom. So I think that's a good understanding of how it'll go. It'll be a throne war, and then the end will just be scrapping for points. To be quite honest, killing monsters doesn't net you as many points as you'd actually think it would be. It's all about the kills. It's all about like those points from kills. I mean, it's a war. So the next part is just going to be my playstyle and basically my tips. I'll show you my ranking for the last Kingdom War. Actually, this was one that I had enough Kingdom Water to kill off all of my troops and revive them at the end. So I decided to just be super aggressive and attack people pretty much with no remorse at all. Like normally I wouldn't play like that because I'd be losing tons of troops, but in Kingdom versus Kingdom you're able to do this. I actually don't agree with this. I think that it kind of breaks the game. It makes people do things that they normally wouldn't do because they have no sense of loss. So as you can see, I was about double the next guy. This is the highest Kingdom War score that I've personally gotten, yeah, so I played really aggressive. As you can see, I'm 16 million power, and I killed off all the way to about 4 million, so that's about 1 million and something troops. So the way I play Kingdom versus Kingdom, and the way I try to get people to play, is I try to get them to play very defensively, because I find defense is the key to being a very confident and good player, because people won't mess with you if you have a very good defense. I usually tend to speed reinforce my allies with the speed ups I get from the off time from Kingdom War, and I normally always, I always get wounded, so I just need to have a lot of healing speed ups and some resources. And you'll get resources from the other kingdoms, so it's not too bad. But defense is definitely our strong point from my perspective. The first hour is really hectic in a Kingdom versus Kingdom. People will be switching from one kingdom to the other, pillaging each other, so it's a good chance to catch some people on the surprise. So basically speed reinforcing your ally will catch somebody off guard, and they won't be able to recall their troops as quick. So an example would be if there was a C-26 that teleported next to a Castle 15 that was a farm. If you have the right alliance tech and stuff, you can hold a lot of reinforcements in a castle like that. Even not a C-15, even like a C-20, something that can actually hold reinforcements. This person will kill their troops, and then typically they'll try to gather all those resources. So what a lot of people do is they'll send all of their troops out of their castle. They'll send dispatch after dispatch, and it'll be a big cluster, and it's hard to recall all of that at once. So if you can time it right, and you can speed reinforce, and you have a good enough dispatch and a good enough tier castle, you can completely wipe a castle without even having to attack them because they're attacking you. I've done this many times, getting quadruple defensive dispatch kills. I've killed over 200,000 from a T8 castle. One time a C-22 came and he just unloaded. He was about 3 million power, and when I was done with him he was about 1.3. So it just shows you that you gotta be paying a lot of attention when you're attacking people in Kingdom War. And so the first hour is sort of like hectic defensive, and then we might completely take on the other kingdom as a group, try and do some rallies. Most of the time in the more powerful kingdoms there's not a lot of rallies, it's a lot of solo hits, and you'll typically see a lot of urgent care chain attacks. Sorry. And basically urgent care is just a skill that you get at the bottom of the battle tab, and you have to be level 37 to get this with the shortest path possible. So basically following one path down, you can get from level 37, you can get this. So in a solo attack, all of your troops are wounded. This does not work on throne or any of those buildings, it just works on castle hits. So when you solo attack, you don't get losses, you get wounded. So essentially you can just we can zero a 5 million power castle just by solo hitting it, about 4 or 5 of us. And it works really well because you don't lose a single thing, but you're getting so many kills, and this person's hospitals can't hold all their troops, so you eventually just take that person right out of the Kingdom War fight, and it works really efficiently. So we'll tend to do that. In the earlier Kingdom Wars, I did lead a ton of rallies. That's more of my playstyle. I think that's more fun. It gives the other team a chance to really defend themselves. It's not like you're attacking them within 10 seconds and just completely wiping them out without them even having a chance to fight back. So that happens, and then 12 hours in, from my experience, it's the whole kingdom's usually shielded. The top ranking players, they will get desperate for kills. They will play really aggressive and attack stuff they normally wouldn't because they really want to get those points for their rank. So the best thing to do is actually set up some bait castles. So like C22, C26, with decent research. Have their buffs on, have their fog on, and basically if they are not smart enough to rally check, which is setting a 1-troop rally on a castle, you can actually see the reinforcements on the castle. I'll show you that actually. So say one of these shitty castles had reinforcements in it, and I set a rally. I'll just do 60 minutes. What I normally do, I set 1 troop, and bam, there's a rally, 1 hour. So you see the blue column, there would actually be another player, their avatar, under that guy if he was being reinforced. So that's a way to check if someone's reinforcing or whatever. Not everybody does this. A lot of people actually do know though. So but anyway, people get really desperate, and it's the best time to set up bait castles, and that will net you a lot of kills from these big players that just don't care and they speed attack everything. And if you're getting rallied and it's too big of a rally, just get the guy to shield. You want to do this with someone that's online and like a competent player, a good fighter. And that's what we normally do. I find just doing that, we can get a lot of kills just by tricking other kingdoms. And that's about it for just how I play. Kingdom War is really like fast pace, like speed up. I mean, like March speed up intensive. That's one thing I really don't like about once you get into the higher powers is like the older kingdoms, is it's all just solo speed hits, and if you don't have speed ups, then you're typically not going to get a lot of kills because people tend to shield really quickly. Because everyone's online for Kingdom War and all this, and I find 24 hours just doesn't do the game mode justice. I think it should be at least 2 or 3, just like Kill Event, because someone could just throw a 24-hour shield on and be out for the whole thing, but not everybody has, like, say, a 3-day shield. So it's just like Kill Event, like, not everybody has a 3-day shield, and you just have to play smarter. It would be nice if it was lengthened. But that's about my whole guide, how I play. If I missed anything, just let me know, or if there's any questions that you guys have, just put it in the comments, and I always reply to all the comments. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.